This individual genuinely cares for you. Please hold on and don't walk away. Pause for a moment and breathe deeply before reading on, because what follows is a truth your heart has been longing to receive. The universe guided you to this message at precisely this time for an important purpose. You've been shouldering a heavy burden, a persistent question that disturbs your sleep, an emotion that clings to you no matter how much you attempt to push it aside. You've questioned whether your feelings are genuine. You've wondered if the other person shares them. You've asked yourself if it's naive to keep faith alive. Let me assure you clearly, this affection is authentic. What you're experiencing isn't imagined or fabricated. It isn't mere longing or clinging out of need. It is genuine, and you aren't mistaken for refusing to release it. Welcome to Soul Signal. Please consider subscribing and enabling notifications so you stay connected whenever the universe has a message meant for you. Before continuing, I want you to truly absorb this. You aren't losing your mind. You aren't inventing stories. The bond you share with this person ranks among the most authentic sensations you've ever known. No period of quiet can undo what truly exists. I recognize how difficult it has been. There have surely been days when surrender felt like the only option. Days when you urged yourself to let go and move forward. Days when you nearly persuaded yourself that it was all a figment of your imagination. Yet an inner force refused to allow it. That inner force kept drawing you back. That force isn't a flaw. That force is deep recognition. Your soul understands what your thoughts keep questioning. This affection is authentic, and I ask you to cling to that certainty as you hear the rest. This person reflects on you far more often than you realize. Their thoughts turn to you first thing upon waking, even before full awareness returns. They think of you in the stillness of night, when the world quiets. They think of you amid a room full of people, triggered by a phrase that echoes something you might say. They haven't erased you from their mind. They haven't truly progressed beyond you. The emotions they once held remain intact. Regardless of outward appearances, you continue to occupy space within them. Perhaps your name appeared somewhere unexpectedly, and their pulse quickened for an instant. Perhaps a melody resurfaced a recollection so vivid they needed to pause. Perhaps they awoke from a dream of you, instinctively reaching across an empty bed. Perhaps they began typing your name into their device and lingered, staring, before closing it. These occurrences aren't random. They are indicators. The link between you remains vibrant, and this affection is genuine. If these words already resonate, as though crafted specifically for your situation, please write, "I feel this," in the comments. Allow the universe to witness your openness. Right now, an internal shift is occurring within this person. Something beyond their deliberate control. An invisible current keeps tugging them toward you. Despite efforts to advance, they sometimes grasp their phone without purpose, not to contact anyone, simply to revisit past exchanges with you. They review messages exchanged long ago and sense an unnamed stirring in their chest. They retain captured images they claimed they would remove yet never did. Photographs and moments tucked away in places they pretend to avoid, though they return frequently. This isn't the behavior of someone who has released the past. This is someone still quietly clinging, much like you. The key difference lies in their uncertainty about expressing it. They struggle to connect inner emotion with outward action, so they remain silent. That silence appears as separation, yet it isn't separation. It's apprehension disguised. This affection exists truly on your end and equally on theirs. You aren't mistaken for maintaining your hold. You're preserving something alive in two separate hearts, not merely your own. Let me share an essential truth about genuine love. It doesn't simply fade away. It doesn't dissolve out of fear. It doesn't vanish with the passage of days. It doesn't perish because certain words stayed unspoken. Authentic love endures. It lingers within the body, within recollections. Within those tranquil intervals when distractions fall away and truth stands exposed. This person senses your presence during solitary moments, when daily clamor recedes and only their private reflections remain. In those times you emerge not as faded history, but as a living influence they cannot dismiss. You appear through random melodies that play without warning. You appear in locations once shared together. You appear in the unoccupied space next to them that no substitute seems to occupy comfortably. This isn't fantasy. This is a form of soul-level communication. This is evidence of two spirits still intertwined regardless of physical separation. This confirms your emotions aren't unreturned. This affection is authentic, and you aren't mistaken for cherishing it. I know the journey has tested you deeply. The prolonged anticipation has brought real pain. There were undoubtedly times when abandoning hope appeared the sole path to relief. Yet you persisted. You're still present. That persistence isn't foolishness, it's resilience. You aren't mistaken for sustaining belief. You aren't mistaken for trusting in something invisible to others. Certain ties defy rational explanation. Certain emotions ignore conventional boundaries. Certain connections were established well before your paths crossed in this life. A wise voice once observed that what belongs to you will never bypass you entirely, and what is fundamentally yours cannot be permanently removed by circumstances, separation, or quiet. This person holds affection for you, not superficially, not fleetingly, but in a manner that has reshaped something profound within them. They may lack the language to articulate it fully or the means to demonstrate it clearly, yet the feeling persists and remains true. At present, this individual navigates an experience they don't entirely comprehend. They sense an inexplicable draw toward you. They encounter hollowness when picturing existence apart from you. They experience unease that no substitute can soothe. They've attempted to disregard it, to occupy themselves with alternatives, with different company, with various diversions. Yet none succeed because none replicate your essence. No one matches your unique presence, and they recognize that truth. Certain evenings find them restless, pondering your current activities. They question whether thoughts of them still cross your mind. They wonder if you've advanced without them. They wonder whether another person now brings you the same joy they once provided. That notion constricts something inside them, not from entitlement, but because hearts refuse to obey logic. It registers what it registers, and theirs continues registering you. This affection is authentic and shows no sign of departing. If you recognize precisely who this concerns, please type the initial letter of their name in the comments. No further explanation needed, just that single character. Permit the universe to acknowledge what your heart already accepts. Now let me describe what this person has endured lately, because I believe you need to hear it. They wrestle internally each day. One aspect yearns to contact you, to reach out verbally, to appear before you and release everything held back. Another aspect recoils in dread, reciting endless justifications for restraint. What if the opportunity has passed? What if your feelings have changed? What if vulnerability leads to fresh pain? These uncertainties paralyze them. They mentally rehearse past dialogues. They envision future words they'd speak to you. They compose unsent apologies. They draft messages that remain undelivered. With each passing day the burden intensifies, apprehension amplifies, and the perceived gap widens. Yet they overlook a crucial reality: fear deceives them. The perceived separation is misleading, and you remain exactly where you've always been, present, patient, trusting. This affection lives genuinely on both sides. You aren't mistaken for sustaining hope while they gather bravery. Occasionally this person nearly yields. The barriers they've constructed begin fracturing. Moments arrive when they almost dial, almost transmit the message, almost voice the truth. Then apprehension intervenes and they retreat. They reassure themselves it's preferable this way, that you're likely content without them, that the chance has expired. Those reassurances are falsehoods adopted to evade exposure. The actual situation differs. They fear the intensity of their own emotions. You hold greater significance than they know how to manage. Losing you terrifies them above all else. That very terror, difficult as it appears, serves as confirmation. Confirmation of importance, confirmation you aren't merely another person to them. Confirmation this affection is authentic. You aren't mistaken for maintaining your grip. You're anchoring something substantial at both ends. The quiet you've encountered isn't evidence this affection has concluded. It isn't indication they've ceased caring. It isn't reason to abandon hope. That quiet belongs to a larger design, one your intellect cannot fully perceive, but your spirit intuitively grasps. There's a concept known as divine timing. Certain developments resist haste. Certain bonds require maturation before reaching full expression. Certain individuals need solitude to mend past injuries before offering love in its truest form. This person currently undergoes transformation, confronting long-held anxieties, comprehending their own emotions, evolving into someone capable of meeting you as you merit. The universe wouldn't instill such profound feeling within you merely to abandon the matter unresolved. The universe doesn't initiate without completing. Your meeting carried purpose greater than either individual. When silence weighs heavily, recall silence differs from erasure. Separation differs from severance. Waiting differs from abandonment. This affection is authentic. The moment approaches proper alignment. You aren't mistaken for holding steady. Please inhale slowly now. Release tension from your shoulders. Allow your body a brief respite. You've borne considerable strain. The uncertainty, the anticipation, the devotion toward someone yet to appear fully. That burden isn't light, and your effort is recognized. Yet I also need you to recognize your own progress. Acknowledge your resilience. Acknowledge your capacity to sustain faith in beauty despite discomfort. One of your most remarkable qualities. Caring deeply isn't weakness. Hoping persistently isn't folly. You possess rare ability to love profoundly. That quality is valuable. That quality is precisely what this person requires, even if they struggle to express it. You aren't mistaken for holding on. You're respecting something genuine. This person measures others against you involuntarily. Conversations lack depth, laughter rings empty. Moments feel like pale imitations of authenticity, and the genuine version was you. They avoid speaking your name aloud, yet think it constantly. Sometimes gently, sometimes overwhelmingly. They revisit a particular instant repeatedly. Not grand or theatrical, just subtle and private. Perhaps the glance you gave when unnoticed by others. Perhaps words you spoke that conveyed true understanding after years of absence. Perhaps your laughter's sound. Perhaps the gentle way you pronounced their name. Perhaps how your presence eased difficult times effortlessly. That instant resides within them permanently. They revisit it nocturnally, midday, whenever minor triggers recall you. And the atmosphere shifts entirely. This affection is authentic. It persists within them despite concealment efforts. And you aren't mistaken for sensing it likewise. If you accept this bond's validity, please type, "This is real," in the comments. Let those words extend your certainty outward. Allow me to elaborate on their affection, as its depth may exceed your current awareness. They cherish you through unspoken intervals, between expressed phrases, in moments of wordless intensity. They cherish small details, the precise manner you prefer your coffee, your distinctive laugh, your contemplative expression, how you transformed routine instances into treasures. They cherish you by unconsciously comparing every interaction to yours, and finding others lacking, not due to flaws in others, but because no one else embodies you. You established a benchmark they hadn't previously recognized until your connection revealed it. They cherish you through inability to detach fully. Every effort to forget intensifies recollection. Your absence has become their most prominent presence. This isn't trivial or shallow. This is transformative affection. You've altered them irrevocably, acknowledged or not. This affection is authentic. You aren't mistaken for treasuring something so profound. If prolonged anticipation has left you questioning its value, please type, "I'm still here," in the comments. Those words affirm your endurance to the universe. On an unseen energetic plane, movement is underway. The universe orchestrates alignments, facilitates necessary healing, positions elements correctly. You may have observed subtle indicators recently. Coincidences that feel meaningful, their name appearing unexpectedly, melodies evoking buried memories, vivid dreams leaving lingering sensations, repeating sequences like 222-111-33. These aren't chance events, they serve as reassurances. The universe signals ongoing vitality in your connection, enduring affection, approaching resolution. A wise perspective holds that destined unions prompt the universe to continually open routes despite detours or barriers. Currently a route takes shape. You may not yet perceive it visually, but your intuition registers impending change. That sensation isn't illusion, it's awareness of underway momentum. This affection is authentic and unfinished. Importantly, during this period of patience you haven't remained stagnant. Growth has occurred. Healing has progressed. You've evolved into a fuller version of yourself, gaining tranquility, fortitude, clearer self-value. That development carries weight. When this person eventually approaches, they'll encounter not your former self, but the one who persevered, who sustained belief, who cultivated self-regard alongside devotion to them. That evolved self radiates appeal and strength, precisely what they require. You aren't mistaken for holding on. Your endurance hasn't been squandered. Each hopeful day has prepared you for forthcoming beauty. If you've chosen persistent faith amid challenges, please type, "Still believing," in the comments. Those words signal readiness. This person wages an internal conflict unseen by you. One side urges pursuit, another recoils in terror. One recognizes your significance, another dreads implications. They've erected protective barriers over time, shields against injury, safeguards against overwhelming emotion. Yet barriers exclude love alongside pain. They're beginning to perceive cracks forming, not externally inflicted, but internally pressured. Their affection for you seeks outlet without alternative destination. Genuine feeling overcomes resistance eventually, seeping through every fissure until containment fails. They're nearing that threshold. Concealment grows unsustainable. Pretense becomes ineffective. Truth emerges as inevitable. When that instant arrives, you'll sense it. Your waiting love meeting theirs at last. This affection has always been authentic. You aren't mistaken for sustaining it until visibility arrives. Perhaps you ponder timing, how much longer patience is required, whether exhaustion will overtake hope. I comprehend the weariness completely. Yet here this waiting serves purpose. Each sustained moment constructs foundation. Each emotion nurtures unseen growth. Every quiet wish registers cosmically. Nothing dissipates unused. Your invested devotion has forged unbreakable energetic linkage, a pre-existing soul understanding, a continually renewing route. This affection is authentic and advances toward you. Even amid quiet, even now. You've questioned whether time has been squandered, whether effort was one-sided, why difficulty prevailed. Nothing vanished unused. Every sleepless reflection, every preference for hope, every refusal to release despite ease. That energy accumulates, generating attraction toward what rightfully belongs to you. That belonging approaches, not remotely distant, but nearer than perceived. This affection is authentic and nearing revelation. If you trust destined outcomes arrive inevitably, type divine timing in the comments. When approach finally occurs, it may differ from imagination. Perhaps midnight correspondence born of insomnia. Perhaps trembling, voiced conversation struggling for beginning. Perhaps unexpected appearance at familiar location. Perhaps delayed written expression of long-held thoughts. Perhaps subtle gesture only you would interpret. Regardless of form, recognition will be immediate. Your spirit awaits precisely this. Until then, continue steadfastly, sustain belief, nurture hope, practice self-compassion during delay, cultivate independent fulfillment. Truthfully, you stand complete already, worthy inherently, not contingent upon arrival. Their presence enhances rather than repairs. Nothing lacks within you. This affection is authentic. You aren't mistaken for cherishing it while simultaneously cherishing yourself. Carry forward this certainty your desires aren't excessive. You seek sincerity, engagement, commitment through difficulty. Not extravagance, but essentials every heart merits. You deserve clarity without constant questioning, assurance without recurring doubt, reliability paired with genuine emotion. Beautifully, that individual exists and has contemplated you throughout. They've experienced the same magnetic draw, battled personal hesitations to reach you, and near readiness. You aren't mistaken for holding on. Genuine elements don't vanish. They navigate obstacles and reunite. Shifts occur energetically now. You may soon notice gentle indicators, unexplained comfort, lingering dream impressions, sudden resonant melodies, inexplicable serenity. These confirm cosmic activity, proximity greater than before, validation of sustained belief.